Hello and welcome again. Sorry for the late spot. We were having a little bit of technical difficulties trying to get this up and going, and I wanted to get the stuff out to everybody so I could bring on my regular host, the Manic Satanic. And soon enough,
everybody.
See if she was too. What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing good, hanging in there.
It's been a week, huh?
Oh yeah, it definitely has been a week. It's been a couple. Getting ready to start my contract next Monday, this coming Monday. So
Good.
Trying to get everything in place for that and all the fun stuff.
Amazing.
You know, no, it's all good, man. I can't complain. How about you?
Doing good, man. I just staying busy like you with everything else we got going on, and I was doing a little bit of research so we could talk about some stuff. I was looking into some stuff with Kiss and AC/DC back in the day. What's up, Craig? How you doing, buddy? And there was like this really I found some really cool facts I'm going to talk about a little bit later on in the show. I think you'll get a kick out of it because you'll be able to chime in. You'll be able to chime in, but there was like a power struggle going on, and it started back with Elvis Presley and then the Beatles and then some of the other crazy things that were going on. And then, the darker side and really trying stuff out. What's up? Exploring the unknown. What's up, guys? How are we doing? And I think that, just after looking into that, it was like a really interesting, there's a lot of interesting stuff. The power struggle was so real back then. Like, you wonder, was it the bands? Was it the labels that own the bands? There was just so much going on. So I really want to get into that as soon as we can. I don't know where Brittany's at. I resent the link and apparently it works because you're here and I haven't seen her. So I don't really know what's going on. Kids Cycle Company Handmade. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, we're going to talk about some stuff. We're just letting people kind of warm up and get in and, just kind of touching on some things here and there and saying hello till we get it. I'm waiting to see. Brittany should be popping in here pretty soon. And when she does, I'll get in. Do you feel like you had some shit to get done last week? Did you get that all worked out?
Yeah. It took me, I had to do a lot of stuff. At least I got paid for it a little bit and doing good. Thanks, Lauren. And, just been kind of waiting to get a place up there, like a room for rent and stuff until I had locked down, especially after last time. I didn't want to put any deposit on anything that I wasn't going to be able to.
I don't blame you.
Use. So, but this time worked out cool. I took my test and, oh, you still there? Oh, Troy's blinking in and out a little bit here. Now you're back. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Are we back?
Yeah, you're back. You.
What the heck is that? You see what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, man.
Man, something's going on here, folks.
Maybe we're engaging in government waste and they're trying to.
Oh man, I hope so.
But
that was crazy. Yeah. What's up, Michelle? How you doing?
The place I took my drug screen at. I'm going to Shands, Craig, for now in Gainesville. The place
What's
that
up,
I did
Bill?
my screen at, they called me. Sent them my card, and they just put it down as negative. So, it's all good.
Very good.
As it should be.
Or later. Yeah.
So I had to wait an extra 3 weeks to start working again, and so here I am. But finally, time to start working again. I'm feeling a little late. I painted my living room this week, though. At least I've been wanting to do that.
That's cool.
Place. Yeah, it came out really good actually. I'm pretty impressed with quote unquote one coat paint actually covered in one coat. So pretty impressed.
I got a message that said it's the chair over here causing the problem. It might be. It might be this chair.
It could be that empty chair.
Probably right about that. Yeah.
Who's gonna fill it?
Come on, hello. What you got? You guys got something to say? All right. Nothing's going on there. You're watching from Crystal River. Awesome. That's awesome. What's up, Seth? Good to see you, bro.
Seth.
Yeah.
Hey, Michelle.
She said it's her last time watching from Crystal River. So maybe it's not awesome.
Good or
her last time? Oh.
Hey, Craig.
So I'm going to re-elaborate on some stuff because we're picking up some people now. Not just in comments, but I see in the numbers here. I want to retouch on some stuff. I'm talking about rock and roll, the power it had when people were in a power struggle. I mean, I can give you some teasers like Elvis Presley gyrated too much. So people thought it was evil and it was bringing out the sexual desires of young women.
Goddamn right.
Which it probably was, but I guess normal. Right? And that's cool. Wow. Michelle's moving to Sarasota on Saturday. Cool. Well, congratulations. Yeah, that's far. You'd be closer to the ocean.
Sarasota.
Oh, well, obviously you live on the ocean there in Costa Rica, but you'll be closer down here to the beachside stuff. It's pretty cool. Sarasota's got some good areas. I really like Sarasota.
Yeah, great beaches down there.
Absolutely.
Down toward like Venice, and
100%. Oh yeah. Beautiful place.
What the hell's that white sandy beach?
Sharkies?
No, the Siesta Key.
Oh, that's a really nice beach. You mean sandy? You mean where it's 18 football fields to get to the water? Is that what you meant to say?
Yeah, and it's all white sand. So little feet.
Yeah. You're like, all right, you guys ready? And I'm like, yeah, I got the camel packed. You got to get there early. If you get at least there by 7, you'll be at the water by noon. That's the important.
I like that. And,
hey, Julie.
Homus.
Hey, what's up, Julie? There she is. Judy, what's up? Yeah. So with that being said, Brittany, I know there was some stuff that you posted, some new discoveries. I saw in your stories somebody found something.
Well, a couple of things. Yeah, I've been throwing them up every time I find stuff. Yeah. Which discovery?
Well, you better keep track because we have to talk about a little bit of them. So I definitely want to get into that once we get caught up here and really just, kind of go off. We always end up digressing, but
without a doubt.
It's okay.
There's been so much crazy shit going on in the world the last couple of weeks.
I think it's already open, Michelle.
Was it in my stories today? Let me go rewind. Or was it posts?
Brittany, did you buy yourself that gold Sasquatch charm that I sent you?
I have not. It's actually really reasonable. I was like, but they have more jewelry that's in like the paranormal supernatural. Like I was like, okay.
They have a lot of cool stuff there. Really a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, I was like, man,
I believe so. I'll double check, but I think so.
Like, this is my kind of content right here.
Right? Telling you.
And I noticed, Brittany, too, you pitch like the zoo. What is it? The crypto zooey Zuzu BBs? What is that?
Crypto zooey pins. So it's these guys, which Troy, I have this for you.
What does it say? The Jersey Devil.
It's the Jersey Devil.
I can't have that. There's a pentagram on it. Don't put that up there.
Is that your product or?
No, it's a company that reached out to me and asked if I would like to collab with them. And so, because they started a cryptozoology like pin, kind of like just pin collective. Nice. And they're doing very well. The owner, Mike, is really, really nice. And so he sent me like a whole box. And on the website, I got to do my top crypto zooey pin picks, which was great. So I have a link that you can go to, but they have like all different, they have the Mothman, the Van Meter monster, which was like a large pterodactyl that terrorized a town for an entire week. You've got
never happened. Yeah. What else? What else do we have? Thunderbird. Not real. All right. Next.
Next. Pain in the butt. Hold on. I have more. I have a Bigfoot I have Bigfoot here, but I have a Bigfoot on my bag. I have Yeti.
Nice.
I have Loch Ness. There's Loch Ness. Oh my gosh, I have so many more. I have the skunk ape, the one in Florida.
Nice. Little Florida.
Yeah, Hool, the large flying bat. Yeah. The Ozark howler.
Oh God.
And then I got a bunch of really cool stickers. There's the cute one for Troy, the little Jersey Devil.
Nice.
I got Mothman. I've got.
Why do I get the Jersey Devil? I don't even like New Jersey. Sorry, Mike Sorensen.
No, because it's cute for it. Matches your step. I have a bunch in here that I'll show you. The one that was which was Finn's favorite. Hold on, because it's on his backpack, so I'll just show you in a sticker.
Britt, have you heard of that? The Taniwa?
It does sound familiar.
Yeah, I think that's just a junkie. Hangs out under the bridge, and
I thought that an Ozark screamer was a sex move. That's what I get out of that.
Snelling over.
Where's the other in the Ozarks, bro? Oh, I can't talk.
There it is. There's the Kraken
from the Ozarks.
Nice, the Kraken.
The Kraken is really cool. I like him. Anyway, they all come in pins, and it's really cool. Like the link, I put it in my bio on my Instagram page, and you guys can go right to it. And if you use Brit Investigates in your checkout, you get 15% off. So.
Oh, well, I got to go get me a Jersey Devil pentagram one.
Oh, you have to
add a pentagram to the Jersey Devil. That doesn't make sense.
No, it does, because he was actually like Satan's child. Like that's the origin story of the Jersey Devil.
Oh,
like man. Satan's child.
So this is the Jersey Devil is something that I have actually fought against being in cryptozoology forever, because it's not actually a representation of an actual like cryptid. it came from like an oral origin story of like this woman gave birth to like Satan's son, sprouted wings, had hoof feet, flew up the chimney and disappeared and forever haunted the town. In a nutshell, it's done from the Lead family if you want to look into it. But
all right, now hold
family.
on. Seth wants to know if you have the Leviathan.
I don't.
Okay. And Holly said,
I don't.
Oh my God, Tanifa.
The Tanifa. Wait a second.
Yeah, but when you put that in there,
familiar,
it looks Taniwa. I don't see an F in here. Hold on. Taniwah.
It's not. That's how it's pronounced. Hold on.
You mean like Colonel and Colonel?
Colonel.
Huh?
Colonel and Colonel?
Yes.
Okay.
I need to look it up again.
Well, what does
really
a Tanifa do? I'm kind of scared.
I need to
it's
see
Holly.
a picture of it. Hold on a second.
On
oh no, that's in New Zealand. No, that's a sea monster. Oh yeah, no, I am familiar with that one. Actually, you know who really knows this story? Holly, since you're listening. Over in New Zealand, actually she would already know the story. But the Cryptid Women's Society, if you go to their website, Holly, Lisa lives in New Zealand. You could probably actually meet up with her. She's a really good person. But she did a whole thing on the Taiwanifa, which was the sea monster of New Zealand, and she did a really good job on it.
Is it Taiwanifa or Tanifa? Taiwanifa?
Tanifa.
You said Taiwanifa. I was like, well,
did I say Taiwanifa? I don't remember. Anyway, but Lisa does a great story on it. Really good story on it.
Is no chupacabra?
Because of the indigenous. There is a chupacabra. The chupacabra, well, I do have a pin here, but the secondary pin I sent down to my little investigative colleague in Belize.
You did.
Little Maya, but here's what the pin looks like. Here, I do have the pin. I have a pin.
That's pretty awesome. It kind of looks like
chupacabra. Is that the chalupa?
The chalupa cobra.
Chalupa cobra.
And then I also have a sticker. And then they do have the Wendigo. He's in there too, which is really cool. But they have a couple of new ones coming out this week. So yeah.
Now who's Amori? How do you say it?
Maori.
Indigenous. Jersey Devil is an interesting story.
Oh yeah, that's New Zealand. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, Jersey Devil, because he's not really a cryptid. I'm sorry, that's not a cryptid. It's a supernatural story. But it's like a devil child. It doesn't belong in cryptozoology. I made a post about this, and people were like, "Oh, I agree."
I mean, technically, the Mothman is
that's not a cryptid either. That's what pisses me off. The flat.
She's not in New Zealand. She's in Australia. I think you insulted her.
Oh, Holly, I'm sorry. For some reason, I thought you were in New Zealand. That's on me, Holly. She's
gonna hang up now. She's gonna hang up now.
She's gone. She's gone. We're not friends on Facebook anymore. She's
Jeff's got
it.
But he's gonna look into that. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Australia. That's where Juliet is. She's actually in. Hold on. Give me a second. Victoria. She's in Victoria. Another cryptid woman, a founder of Cryptid Women's Society from that side of the islands.
I'm pretty sure that that tattooing was invented more or less by the Maori in the South Pacific and stuff like that.
The Maori people, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The true indigenous. That's like the Aborigines in Australia, like nobody ever talks to them about the animals there. Nobody ever listens.
You know what I looked at?
What?
I looked at this show called Expedition Bigfoot. Really not impressed. I heard that. Listen. I don't care. You can be friends with them or whatever. I don't really care.
No, I'm laughing that it came from left field.
The reason I said that is because you made us. Remember, I said we digress, and we're talking about cryptids, and they're looking for a big, whatever the fuck they're looking for 21 seasons. But at the end of the day, and they never find it. Never. They always have somebody dress up and run through the trees or whatever. But listen, somebody said, "Oh my God, they added a character that looks like a hybrid between you and Justin."
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I saw the cover. That's Jimmy Riffle. Shut the fuck up. They put Jimmy Riffle in that show. And they try to say, that's Jimmy Riffle. That's not fair. If I was Jimmy, I would sue for that image.
Ask John. Well, he actually has always looked that way. Like if you go far back when he was on History Channels alone.
I don't care. Like so does Jimmy all the way back on Animal Planet.
Oh yeah, like he outdates Jimmy, Jimmy Riffle outdates. As soon as I saw him, I was like,
Jimmy's look, dude.
I was like, holy crap, this guy is Jimmy Riffle. Like, you've got to be kidding me right now. It's like if Jimmy and Justin had a child.
I gotta look.
This is their offspring.
Oh yeah, you gotta look. It's Expedition Bigfoot.
Which Roy's just
new season.
Just to put in Binko, Biko.
Oh, you got to see him on the cover where they're all like standing like this.
BINK.
And they're all looking hard. Come on.
Expedition Bigfoot. Yeah, it was just really funny. I was like, oh my God, it's Jimmy Riffle.
Oh
if
my
Jimmy
God.
Riffle
it's Jimmy without Jimmy needs a shower, but it's totally Jimmy.
If it was Jimmy Riffle with Troy's beard.
I mean, definitely Jimmy Riffle is okay, folks. Here. Jimmy Riffle is 100, in case he's listening, he's 100% sexier than that.
Oh, without a doubt.
I was just saying, I was just making a point.
Yeah, no, that's Jimmy with a scraggly beard. And see if looking like he hasn't bathed in a while.
I want to find a comparison photo of Jimmy. Hang on one second. Jimmy, we love you. We miss you.
Yeah, we miss you, Jimmy Riffle.
Miss you, Jimmy. Jimmy is family for anyone listening.
He's just busy. Man's on the road. He wants to open his park.
I know.
Yeah, let's see here.
I know. I'm trying to find a good one. Damn, Jimmy.
I'm going to pull this up here too while we're doing that so I can talk about it.
Jimmy. Oh my God, this is a great one of Jimmy wrestling, actually. I'm like, look at Jimmy. Look at Jimmy Riffle.
He's just making love to that poor alligator.
I'll tell you what, though. That barefoot man, he knows what he's doing. I'll tell you, I love watching Jimmy do what Jimmy does. Like, it's fun to watch Jimmy. He's barefoot. Oh, there you go. There's a good one. That's him, like, oh, God, I can't see. Oh, kind of. You can kind of see him there.
What's going on, Nathan? Yep.
Hey, Nate.
He is.
Hey, what up,
there he is.
He's petting a kitty cat there, it looks like.
See, everybody misses Jimmy. Jimmy, we love you. We miss you. We know you're listening in whenever you
can.
He'll
be around. So. He'll be around. I'm sure he's probably not listening. He's probably relaxing right now. It's been cold up there. It's a lot of work going into that when it's cold.
That's true. Yeah. It's been a very long, hard winter for the state of Florida, without a doubt. We got a little
What
snow.
is going on with our weather lately? What the heck?
I don't know. It goes from summertime to winter. I kind of like it. It's just it's bipolar, like everybody.
Sick.
We better get it on medication, I think.
Right? I'm telling you. We all need the friggin' measles vaccine at this point.
Hey, I was like talking to Mom today. I haven't been sick since December 23rd of 2023.
Don't jinx it, man.
No, I'm not going to jinx it. I'm not going to deal with it. I just refuse it. And I sat next to goddamn Flavio, sick as balls, on an airplane, flew to Belize. And I'm like, that's it. You're going to get me sick. You're sweating. But you know what? I never got sick.
You're sweating.
Good.
Oh, my God.
So I'm trying to keep it up, man. Whatever I'm doing.
Yeah, dude.
Staying on it, man. Don't believe the hype.
What you're doing, man. Seriously,
don't believe the hype. I'll tell you what it is. You got to take care of yourself. I'm not lazy. I used to be. I'm not lazy anymore. Purposely get up. I make myself do stuff. I probably take 14 different supplements every night before I go to bed. And I just blast my body with a whole bunch of immunity and health. And it's been an amazing thing. And there's all these things that you find out and tricks and and it works. And so I stick with it. Because I stick with it. But, before, if you're like dipping in a candy jar or drinking fucking garbage, a bunch of shit. Don't do that, Jeff. Bunch of shit. You just find that it just attacks your body.
Got to feed the beast.
There you go. But, for me, man, I just stopped feeding it a bunch of junk. It just wasn't good for me.
Yeah,
man.
I blame the marijuana. I do. I could be like, I'm not going to eat anything.
Well, I don't do anything like that.
And I don't know if y'all ever seen the fantastic Mr. Fox when he's just shoveling food in his mouth. That's what I'm
Of course. You just got to find a strain that doesn't have that in there.
I'm telling you, I found a couple actually. I'm trying to get off of smoking and more to eating.
Yeah,
I dig the edibles quite a bit, so I go.
I don't really get super hungry like that. I guess
from the edibles, I don't at all. In fact, I don't even know that they don't even affect me till I like stand up or something. And I'm like, ooh. Yeah, that's
or you'll eat something or drink something and it activates it. What the fuck is that, right? You're like, man, this isn't working. You take a sip and you're like, whoa, and you just wake up. That's why I don't do that much.
I go through quite a few edibles, man. That's definitely my jam these days.
Yeah, and if I get trashed on edibles, dude, you got to ride that bitch for 8-9 hours, dude.
Oh, without a doubt.
I don't like that.
I take like 4 on my way home from work to sleep. I try to get about 2 hours before I'm going to close my eyes, and that 4 will put me out for a while, for the most part.
Which is good.
Oh yeah,
and you don't wake up hungry,
right? And I don't.
We're not condoning drug use, folks, or marijuana use.
Just for myself, I'm trying to get off those hypnotics, your Ambiens and your Trazodones and all that crap. I'd rather take some edibles and eat a bunch of pills to try to fall asleep.
No, for sure. I hope you're listening out there, folks.
Yeah. Yep, it's the wave of the future. Maybe old worm brain will take care of that and get it all set up for some good medical shit.
There you go.
So I know, on a side note, one of the
Let's
things I posted today in my stories was, and I wanted to make sure I had it correctly, the 2 universities, but that there are scientists saying that within the next 5 years, they could actually genetically bring back a living dinosaur. And the 2 universities are confirmed for Yale and Harvard scientists, because they basically said they could do it using chicken DNA. So listen, if they're putting it out there, they've already been testing with it. I'm just saying.
Well, thank you for that,
Nothing new.
bro. That's some really good news, huh? It's just really lightening up the page.
What?
Bill's palsy rough.
Oh no!
You get the like facial paralysis.
Wait, who
I'm
is
sorry
that?
to hear
Is
that, bud?
Which one? Luke or Dustin? Who's on there right now? Is it Luke? Which one?
Yeah, me too, bro. Me too. I'm not sure. It might be Luke. I think it might be
I'm gonna
Luke.
wait and see what he says in response. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's
really
awful.
Rough. I'm sorry to hear that, Michelle. The world would be a better place if everybody could. Be a lot less fights.
It'll get there.
You know, every fast food place would be making all the money.
Like I said, and you know that kind of it's Luke. It's Luke. Well, Luke.
Luke, I'm so sorry, man.
Yeah, sorry, man. That's rough. I've
We're here for you. We're here for you, bro.
Been happening quite a bit. I mean, it's really common with things like stroke, or there's a few disorders that don't necessarily have a cause that cause some temporary facial paralysis and stuff like that. It's pretty scary.
Yeah,
stuff.
that's a bummer.
And I hope you get better, quick, man. I really do.
Yeah, for sure. Keep at it, man. You'll be all right.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It's most of that shit. Honestly, most of it's in your head too, man, for sure.
Rub some dirt on it. You'll be all right.
Yeah, rub some dirt on it. The
Just
comment
stay
he
positive.
posted,
walk it off.
Michelle, was that he said he was in the hospital the other day and he got diagnosed with Bell palsy. For those of you that missed the comment, Michelle said she missed it, so I wanted to post that for her. It's a lot of that's in your head, man. I mean, I'm not saying that, but the way you react to what you do can really determine where you're going to end up. Trust me, I mean, I know from experience. So, there's people that come out of a lot of things, and you really got to keep headstrong. I do believe in creating a stronger brain sense, and I think we have the power to heal ourselves. We just have to get in there and find it. Unfortunately, we're bombarded with a lot of negativity and control.
All the time.
Everybody wants to control you. There's a narrative. We all know there's a narrative. If you don't see the narrative, you're a moron. I'm just going to tell you that. And anybody listening, if you don't see the narrative, you're a moron. Yeah, but I will. It tends to resolve itself a lot. See, good news.
Mostly, unless
thank you, Michelle.
It tends to resolve itself. It does.
Right. So that's good news too, man. Everything is staying positive. Everything will get better. 100%.
That's it, Luke. Yeah. There it is. Good positive outlook.
Or positive thinking is the strongest medicine out there.
That's
absolutely.
Right.
Thank you, Jeff. Well said. And that's what I mean. And Jeff works in medical, so he sees it all. And it depends. If someone's really depressed and they let go, there's nothing Jeff can do to help them. But if they're positive, and Jeff's assistance when he's helping them. And it really helps you. And I'll tell you, when I was in the hospital, I had a respiratory therapist, a big old fucking dude with tattoos. And he's like, I'm going to fucking turn your goddamn oxygen down. And you better start fucking breathing, pal.
Yep.
So he went over there. He'd be turned down later. Holy fuck, dude. He's like, you can do it. Just keep breathing. I'll be back in an hour or two. And you know what? He really made my lungs stronger by doing that. Now, if I had laid in there and
they do.
Yeah. Because you're just there. You're like, fuck it. I don't even care anymore. Just kill me.
Yeah.
Because you can get to that level, but you got to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Especially on the ventilator. Once you lose your respiratory drive, it's hard to get it back sometimes. And, your lungs get tired. They get lazy. They get used to something else doing all the work for them. And then when they take you off, it's a bit of a struggle.
Thank God I never got on that. I told him I want to die with no air. I want to die with my eyes open. Do not put me on a ventilator. I did say
on a ventilator is scary business.
Yeah. So they brought in this cool shit, Jeff, and this like white tub, had this mouthpiece, and you go, and you breathe it in, and it's like blows like this, like it looks like vapor. It was pretty fun. I was just pretending I was smoking since I couldn't.
That's the way to do it.
Just imagine
opens up your lungs, bronchodilators and such. I give those things out all day long.
Yeah. And so I'm like, yeah. So Michelle said it's usually medication related. But that brings me to something. There's a narrative. So you got to get your head in the game. You don't always have to rely on things. You can always really get your head going and out of the game. And I think that, do you want to talk about any cool discoveries before I get into the rock and roll and the struggle of power in the United States? Because I'm going to get into it, folks. I really am, because I read some shit today that really was fucking agitating, and I can't even believe it was tolerated. You know, it's funny to me. But yeah, Brittany, talk about anything in the cryptid world that is kind of new that has been like discovered. I saw you put an animal up, and I'm sorry I don't remember what it was because everything's been a blur for me. And so what do you think?
There's been several discoveries made already this year. I mean, they're not like huge, like, oh my gosh, we found a monkey. They did find one last year, but
they have Jimmy Riffle's twin on the other show, or his lesser twin on the other show. So maybe they'll find it this year.
Then maybe,
or they'll film him walking through the woods with an infrared. It's right there.
They've already been doing that. He's already been doing that. He's already been doing that.
Listen, let me explain.
Not anymore.
Look at the stretch on that leg.
As far as Bigfoot goes.
Is that one gone?
Yeah, all the Bigfoot shows are gone except for Expedition.
I like the one with the Trailer Park Boys. It's a Sam Squanch, boys.
That's the best one.
The vet.
Yeah, the Sam Squanch.
I love that.
It's a great episode. Great episode.
I love that shit so much. I've got my signed Trailer Park Boys poster where they wish me happy birthday, and Ricky told me I could fuck off. He's like, you can fuck off, Troy. And Bubble said, Troy, you don't have to fuck off, Ricky. Why are you saying that shit? It was
I have
funny,
the
man.
video.
Yeah, I know. I got it too. I'll have to send it to
That's
Jeff.
awesome.
It was fucking
man,
great.
dude, I'm telling you.
And then he was like, Julian was like, hey, he's like, hey, your sister's pretty cool because I wouldn't do this for anybody, man. So happy birthday or some shit, dude.
PB, man.
If y'all haven't watched the Trailer Park Boys, I know it's got a slow start, but it's the best thing that's ever come out of Canada.
Yep.
For real.
I like some of the
They're
movies.
hilarious. Love those guys. They were so nice, though.
Someone's going to be like, oh, man, he said that's the best thing. To me, that's the best thing that's come out of Canada. Are you going to do it? All right. Let's listen.
Let me turn it up so that we can
get your microphone near it. Let's hear it.
Okay. Well, microphone near it or like?
Well, you got to, it's okay.
So
you can hear it. Just turn it up.
Okay.
No, you can turn it up. It's good. Let's hear it.
What's up?
I can't hear it. You know why, Brittany? You got your headphones on.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, you got your headphones on.
Oh, so that way it's. How's the headphones have to do with anything? It's still going into the mic.
Yeah, but it's the cutting and you've got the noise.
Now it sounds like you're turning dials on a radio.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Is that your spirit box that's doing all that?
Yeah, it's a spirit box. That's what it sounds like.
No, that's
well, yeah, just send it to Jeff. Just send it to
I'll send it to you, Jeff.
Send it to our group thing.
It was great. I went there and his birthday and I thought they were gone. And then I saw a lady standing out there and I was just like, I'm going to run up and ask them. And I was like, I have a question for you. I was like, are the Trailer Park Boys like gone? Are they done? Because 2 other people told me, oh no, they're done. They're not doing any meet and greets. And she's like, oh no, they're coming back out. They just did one of those like one-on-ones or whatever with somebody. I was like, oh, okay. So they come out and then I was like, okay, here's the deal. And so like I did this and I was like, can I get a video for my brother? Because he was here yesterday. Like he tried to meet up with you guys when he was here. And they're like, absolutely. And they're like, here, just film it. We'll just go live. Let's just wing it. Let's just do it. Let's make him a video. Let's do it. And I was like, awesome. Okay. Nice. So then we filmed and they signed everything for him. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I got to hang in here. Great thing, man. I really love the
meet with those guys. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They were so nice. They were really nice.
People come on the show and then they click off. I watch the numbers go up and down. They get bored because they want to hear whatever the fuck they want to hear. I don't know. I don't know why you pop in and pop out. If you're not going to watch it, just pop out, dude. Just don't even stay on. But tell me if there's been anything else found, and we'll get into some other stuff.
See for who we're bashing and why.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they're turning in to see.
They're like, I like Expedition Bigfoot, and he just made fun of it. I'm hanging up. Fuck that guy. Boop. Fucking.
The new Jimmy Ripple.
Yeah, that's fucked.
They made fun of.
We go out and do something edgy, and we do a little twist.
Guy. We're just saying how he looks. That's all. He looks like a friend of ours. So we're not actually making fun of him. We're saying he looks like a friend of ours.
We were never making fun of him. It was the show, folks. The show.
I gotta say, he does look like he smells like Bigfoot. Just saying. So.
Well, see, now that's Jeff, but for us, it was the show. Like, I don't even understand.
I will say, like his posts and stuff, he's a pretty funny dude. Like he's a funny guy. Like I'm like,
well, the funny thing is how
nice
come
guy.
They were all like doctor looking, clean cut. They could go to church or court and get off on a fucking violation.
Not anymore.
Then our show airs, and then they're like, hey, we got to put a roughneck in there now.
Yeah, we need a rough guy. Some tattoos.
Yeah, I don't get that, bro. I mean, it's cool, I guess.
I'll admit I've watched the trends change in the last year, which I find really funny on that.
See, that's the thing.
I will say,
hey,
you know what?
They'll stay with the same shit for 100 years.
Flattery.
And then you do something kind of cool, man, and they go, oh, fuck yeah, we're running with this. You know, it's like you can listen to the Monkees in the 1980s, or you can listen to Motley Crue, you know, and the next thing you know, they're telling the Monkees, hey, man, grow your hair out.
Long hair is where it's at, man. Ever since the mid to late 70s, metal started coming up, and
I just mean, like, if you're anybody that understands any type of, if you're a cryptozoologist or if you're a real animal person, and I'm nothing. I live in a fake world. I've seen it all. I'm the Anton LaVey of discovery. I read that. I thought that was absolutely fucking awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And you know what? He's being honest because
thank you.
Well, he's watched both shows, right? So I appreciate that, you know. And there isn't anything wrong with the Monkees, Judy. I was just making a comment. So the Monkees, you know, hey, we're the Monkees. Everybody's jerking around, whatever. I think that it's just funny to me that you trend said, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, let's get out of the mold.
The funny thing is, though, is
it's
that
like
that's really who we are,
public will tell you. The public will tell you that, Brittany. Yeah, I'm not a fucking whatever. Me or Justin, we do what we do all the time. You can,
but
find
you
me
look
wherever,
the way you are on TV as you are in
shit.
real life. Like you know what I mean? Like there's no change. People thought my hair was fake. Like it's not.
I know.
Fake.
But I was, dude. They think when they trash on me.
Kids.
What's that girl? Shannon. What was her name?
Hill.
Shannon Hill or Shannon Hall?
Sharon Hill is her name.
Sharon Hill.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much you made an impression on me, Sharon. You're not ripping on me enough. But if you rip on more people, you know, I just think that it's amazing to me. I love that. But now they're making other people try to look like what? What the hell's going on?
Well, I just like how this is my biggest pet peeve is I like how people that like they Google their information, which half the time the resources are all wrong because they're all opinion pieces basically, or like this person believes this way, and I mean this on like all academic field too. Like these are like you can read one person's website and then another zoological website is contradicting it. So it's just funny to me that you get these so-called educator bloggers that come out there and they're like, oh my gosh, so I've been doing the caves systems for this long and this would never happen. It's like, oh really? That's cute.
Right.
And then there's the other side of it too, where it's like alligators do not go up that far. They haven't been seen. I've wanted to say multiple times, like actually, if you knew your own research in your own state, which clearly you don't, they've been seen in the White River, which was right where we were. So you don't know what you're talking about. And that is why we found what we found, because they are traveling and I'm like, why don't you talk to specialists that deal with these animals in the wild?
But you're talking about
You're
talking about a vegetable. She's a vegetable mentally.
It's not just it's
like her brain has a sock
in comments online. I'm like, you guys.
Okay. Her brain has a sock in its mouth. You're talking about a vegetable. And I think it's funny because I love it. Like you can't trash me enough, but I was called by somebody, Jeff, and I'm going to say it again because it's hilarious. The Anton LaVey of discovery.
That is
I mean, to me, that's what the fuck? Like,
that's awesome.
I know. I was like, I can't believe this is happening right now, man. I can't believe this is happening.
This magic moment.
I know these lips.
That's what played in your head while you were spinning around.
Oh my God. I just wanted to get like a high collar jacket and shave my head bald. It was exciting.
Right?
But I think that, yeah, I mean, really think about it. I mean, we get into all kinds of things and I try, you know, I was just trying to think of, you know, those are emotional thinkers. You know, you have logic thinking and you have emotional thinking. Emotional thinking always leads directly to an action, right? Without thinking.
And
it's like an involuntary act, right? So they're like, oh, that guy has cool tattoos. Fuck him. Fuck him. He looks like he worships the devil, guys. Let's get together. And they got their crosses. Let's do this together. You know, call me all kinds of shit. I like it. I like it, you know, and I know that I piss a lot of
Yeah.
religious people off, and I'm really sorry about that. But I'm gonna clear it. I know a lot of people that believe in God that are really cool, and I'm not gonna lie about that. But these other motherfuckers, man, that come on my shit, I ask them, hey, why don't you come on the show and trash me on the show? Like, do it in front of people. Come on my show. I won't even.
Yep.
We'll let you do it, but they don't want to do it. They're like, no, I wouldn't be part of that occult.
A cult.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's
the
crazy.
occult. You're the occult. So here's the thing. So here's what I want to talk about. I was talking with my friend Kurt today. He's always, you know, we chit chat about some cool things. He said, hey man, you know, when I was a teenager in 1977, I saw Kiss and AC/DC touring together in Louisville, Kentucky. Right? So I was like, cool. Then I read.
Wow.
So Louisville, listen to this. I'm going to have to read this here. Louisville police confiscated what they believe in a large amount of LSD in the course of the arresting of the people in the drug chapters on Monday night's concert with the Rock Park. So the police were like, you know, arresting everybody for LSD. But that was a big thing then. But here's
oh my gosh.
Christian schools punished 3 students when they found out that they went to the Kiss concert.
Reminds me of Detroit Rock City.
No, come on.
No, they did. Listen, I have to read this to you. I got to tell everybody. It's one of the greatest things. Administrators, it's a really old paper clipping from the newspaper, so I'm going to try to put it together the best I can. Administrators, 1977.
Okay.
I was 9.
Well, if you remember, I'm aware. She doesn't bring it in the face, you guys, because she's bashed you without knowing anything. Correct. I remember that I watched an interview with Gene Simmons, right? Gene Simmons, for those of you that don't know, is the lead singer of Kiss, right? He's pretty much the business mind behind it. And the star is Paul Stanley. Like Paul Stanley is the flashy star or whatever, you know, whatever. So he said in an interview, they're like, well, how do you feel about people talking about your names? Here it is. You did it right there. You did it. Knights in Satan service. And he said, that's not what it means. He said, it's a business model of mine. It's called keep it simple, stupid. Right? That's his motto. Keep it simple, stupid. Meaning keep it simple, pick your niche, always wear your band shirts, perform, put yourself out there, and the simpler, the better. And look what he's done. He's built an empire.
He's built a huge empire, probably more than anyone else from that music in that time period. He is. Yeah,
they are. I mean, for those of you that don't know, they're touring now as holograms.
Oh, that's crazy.
So they're going to get paid to do concerts as holograms.
Awesome.
But they can fly, they can turn into demons. It's like a big deal, right? That's epic rock and roll.
Is a big one too.
It's really cool, Jeff, because every character that they played in their actual show, like the demon, the this guy that flew, the Star Child, whatever.
Oh, the Star Child.
Yeah, when they're doing the cat, when they're doing the cat, when they're doing their show, they will literally turn into those on the stage in front of you. I watched this whole thing. I'm like, wow, man.
I gotta check. I would go check that out because I saw Kiss a bunch in the late 70s, early 80s when I was a kid because that's really what I was into, like Kiss, Black Sabbath.
Yeah, right.
Iron Maiden a little bit later. Yeah, I loved all that stuff, man.
I love Iron Maiden. They were considered satanic, but they were really just political. Here's what's interesting. So administrators of the Portland Christian School have told 3 students who attended the rock concert by Kiss that they will not be allowed to return to class when school comes back January 3rd, unless each writes a paper summarizing the school's stand on rock concerts and explaining why they would even attend such filth. School principal Earl Mullen Sr. said the 3 high school students were aware that the school has a position against. All right, next page. Let's find it here. Said that where the school has position against the rock concerts. He acknowledged that there is no official rule in the school handbook prohibiting attendance, but they know the rules internally. Portland Christian School at 2500 Portland Avenue has about 300 students in grades 1 through 12. If the students do not write the papers with their parents, I'm sorry, I got to keep changing the page. Their parents or with their parents, we will have to discuss the matter with the school officials before the students will be allowed to return to school. We are very much opposed to students supporting this sort of evil and things at their presence and the purchase of tickets because of the relationships to drugs, immoral sex, immoral behavior, and drugs. We have talked about this in classes and assembles this year. We have talked in the assemblies this year about it. The students were never told the concert attendance was prohibited, but they knew. Mullen said the students' parents were sent memos by the office last year warning them that the bad effects of rock and roll concerts and what they can do, and they can lead your children to follow the devil. The memos had been signed by the parents in return, and Mullen said that the 3 students are being required to write papers in which must be signed. Now, I can even go on and on. It's the stupidest fucking thing that I have ever heard in my life.
Same.
It was a struggle. It was a struggle for, right on. It was a struggle for power. That control and power. And so what I mean by rock and roll, like rock
Absolutely
and roll,
ridiculous.
Even back in the 60s when it started, that was the big hippie generation where everybody was like peace and love, right? Like you got the 60s. The 50s are like bebop, shewop, boo, or whatever the fuck they did, and my boyfriend's back. That stuff. So it's like, oh, it's giddy. They're not talking about people fucking under the bleachers or really smoking a fatty or drinking a beer and beating each other up. They're talking about how perfect it is. And we were home by 10. We didn't touch each other, sniff each other's hair, nothing. We were perfect. Well, we know that's not true. No,
it's just not showcased.
So then you have the 1960s and they're like, stop oppressing us, man. We just want to have a good time, right? And we're going to do some drugs or whatever. That's up to you if you want to do drugs. If you want to do some LSD, man, and trip, that's up to you. You're not affecting me.
Yeah.
So for a company to say you can't do that, or a school to say you can't do that, man, what the fuck? So this control, but it goes before that. Exactly, Jeff. I call them gatekeepers.
I like how he gets frozen right as he was doing that.
Me too.
Nice.
I wish I had a thing I could do that where I could just stop him. There's Jeff telling you how he feels.
Too.
But it goes back,
like,
folks. It goes back into Elvis Presley. Now this is live. This isn't an edited show. So I'm just saying what I say. Elvis Presley would get out there and shake around. We know Elvis Presley was basically a rock star. He's the king of rock and roll, man. All right.
Damn Skippy.
He didn't steal anything. He didn't do anything that they were told. He stole from the blacks and all that shit. He did not. He grew up and he just made something famous and he did a good job. And you know what? He danced kind of provocatively. But the people looked at it and said it was like appalling and disgusting. We're talking about Elvis, right? Elvis Presley. Like he was a normal guy. He actually had a pretty decent. He had a pretty decent soul. Like he was trying to help people and friends. He was a good guy. He took care of his friends, his entourage. He wasn't a piece of shit. And if you know the story of Kiss and where Gene Simmons come from and all that type of stuff, if you really look into that, you'll understand that these people weren't bad either. And they just did the makeup thing and I'm the big demon just to scare people. Like, I don't even think he believes in demons, to be quite honest with you.
That's what it was.
Go ahead, say it, Brittany. Say it.
He was named at the time as Elvis the Pelvis. That was his nickname by like all the people that were trying to get rid of him in the jungle.
Well, Michael Jackson always came out dancing. He'd grab his ding dong every 5 minutes.
In Elvis's
this man's grabbing his genitalia.
It's true. In Elvis's own words, he says, "I don't roll my, what do they call it? Pelvic gyrations. My pelvis has nothing to do with it. I feel the rhythm and the music and I jump around because I feel it and I enjoy what I'm doing." So he was
sure. And he knew every time he did it, the girls go, "Oh my God, Elvis."
Yeah, they went crazy because they'd never seen anything like that.
And that's what scared the people in control. The control. That's what I'm talking about. Of course.
And they tried to destroy him because of that.
They did. They have been trying to destroy music forever. You don't want to know why? Because
I'm gonna let the dog out.
It was a freedom of us, Brittany, where we could actually go and do what we wanted to do, and it kind of like got rid of the gatekeepers, right? So the gatekeepers were always there, and they were losing control of their teens.
Yeah,
right.
Well, you can't.
We wanted to rock out. It doesn't matter. We wanted to rock and roll, man. We love music. Music was a freedom for us. Some people went and played baseball. Some people were like, "I'm going to be a baseball player for my daddy and show him I'm a man." I don't care. Do that too. We didn't like that. We like music and dirt bikes and skateboards and trash. And that's okay too. Yep. But the gatekeepers always put us down. And I've had conversations with people or my family members that the persecution and the trauma that we went through as teenagers was bullshit. When you're supposed to be supporting people and you're trying to control the narrative, these people were trying to control everything you did. Yeah. And you heard that when we talked to Ricky Rocket, the drummer of Poison, was on the show.
Yeah.
And he talked about, I said, "Man, I have a question, Ike." And he goes, "Ask it now. Let's get it out of the way." I said, when you released your album, Open Up and Say, and I'm just refurbing what we talked about. I said, it was cool. It was like this person with a long tongue, like a girl demon with the green eyes. We all thought it was badass. Like, yeah, everybody likes monsters and scary shit. They had to pull that album, for those of you that don't know that, and they had to make it just eyeballs, like torn with eyes, because I want to say it was Kmart and Walmart, right? Was their biggest distribution.
Mm-hmm. That's what he said.
Because they were now again. I forgot.
Yeah, me too. Somewhere.
Yeah.
Thank you, Seth. Appreciate that.
Do that.
but they talked about, he talked about we had to pull it because that was where we were selling albums, and if we didn't, they weren't going to distribute. I remember the 80s. Remember that shit? You could go to Kmart, they had a big rock and roll section. The music section was cool. Remember that had posters, Jeff? 12-inch albums, had cassette tapes. Remember all that cool shit, even before CDs.
Yeah.
So they would just try to stop us all the time, man. But music for a lot of people was a good thing. And now you find out that it depends on how many hertz is being played, which gets into your brain, right? So they start realizing that in the 90s, and they were making boy bands, and they were using particular upwards of 450 to 500 kilohertz of sound, or hertz of sound, and it would get into your head a certain way because it starts to chime in with your neurons and make you get into it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But they were banning a lot of that stuff. Yeah. Right. And they wanted to gatekeep us. And I just, man, there was a lot of us that probably could have been a lot more successful in what we do had we not had to push back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, definitely bred rebellion.
I didn't want to push a pencil when I grew up, Jeff. That's not what I wanted to do.
Both, man. And I still haven't.
Me neither. I'm not going to lie. I actually live a pretty good life. I'm not going to lie, folks. And it's just because I've had to have some sucky times. But like Jeff, you just got to push through. You got to do what you want to do. Brittany's doing it too. You have to do it. And you find that loophole, or you become part of the system. And I refuse to be part of the system. I really do. They wanted these perfect, and then it gets chaos, and then they want to destroy everything, and you can't do that. You're going to hell, or you're fucking gonna this or that.
It's all coming back around now with books and everything else. Book burning and music burning and banning shit. Yeah. I think it's the saddest, sickest thing ever, man. I really do.
Well, they've been doing it forever. It's nothing new. They've been doing it since World War II with Hitler,
and they still
probably even further back.
The more you hide something from a kid, the more they want to get into it.
100%.
I mean, my mother was pretty supportive of my musical taste. She'd make fun of me a little bit when I play music real loud, and but
yes, they did.
Never bought into like the satanic panic bullshit.
Oh my God!
That no matter what, I was a good kid. No matter if I was listening to Kiss or Maiden or Ozzy, Black Sabbath.
I'm telling you, if you're under 40 years old, you don't even know what the fuck we're talking about. I'm telling you right now, because it was that decade of pure hell. Michael Jackson,
the Goonies era, as they put it.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Online.
The Goonies were evil. I remember all the way up to the 90s where they wanted to ban and boycott Harry Potter.
They even attacked The Mask. Come on, people. Calm the freak down. Right. Because he would get possessed by a devil or like an evil spirit and become this other person. I'm like,
that's my point. God. But see, here's the deal. Well, hold on. Here's the deal with that, guys. So unfortunately, you had these fundamental fucking dipshit moron pedophiles that were representing a religion that really had nothing to do with that religion, right? Like it really didn't have anything to do with that religion. They made that because you can't find anywhere where it says you can't listen to rock music or whatever. All that shit was made up, and they're trying to. It's the beat. The devil creates the beat, and it gets into your mind, and they take you over.
Makes you gyrate your hips and have sex.
Exactly.
And
oh my God. Exactly. First of all, I didn't do drugs when I was listening to rock and roll. I didn't even drink. I just like the music, and I love the instruments, and I like to play drums, and I really like to make sounds. I like to create, and I like to write. The songs that you start humming, get stuck in you. Someone hears it, get stuck in their head. Play them albums backwards, you'll become possessed. Yes, Seth.
Oh
yes.
We used to do that.
The Beatles did that. So
Led Zeppelin 4.
Remember when the Beatles started it with "Turn Me On, Dead Man"?
Messages, and we'd sit there.
Remember that, Jeff?
Smoke a lot of weed and play them, or take a lot of psychedelics and fuck with that.
Do you listen? I can think of two. It was number 9. It was in the end of one of the Beatles albums,
Beatles,
number 9, and you played it backwards. It said, "Turn me on, dead man. Turn me on, dead man." That's how it sounded. And then if you went to Queen, another one bites the dust. Backwards is "Let's go smoke marijuana."
Oh man! I'd rather do that than bite dust.
I need to.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you got to do it. You play it backwards. You can just look it up. There's a couple guys that grew up with that satanic panic that have YouTube channels, and they put it all. They play everything backwards. They go, listen to this.
Badass, man. We
That's
need to
cool.
do
And the only reason that
of satanic panic stuff, especially because it's on its way back.
Right. And here's the thing, Jeff. Here's what's funny. If Jeff and I were making music back then, I would call Jeff, bro, did you hear the Beatles just did some shit? And he'd be like, oh yeah, we got to do words and see what we could put into a song. And we'd be writing a song so we could do it. It isn't that we're devil worshippers and we want to kill your kids or bring them to hell. Yeah. And then some fucking dumbass kid that had mental problems kills himself and they blame the bands.
Yeah, they
blame the
Ozzy for a
bands.
bunch of stuff because of Suicide Solution and
and Marilyn Manson.
Yep, and everything. It's so easy to blame music. Like if you listen to music, doesn't matter what it is. If you're fucked up, you're fucked up. Period. Yeah. You know, the music didn't make
it has nothing to do with the music. Actually, you know what? In contrast, it was probably the music that helped soothe that person when they were having mental health breakdowns or issues. You know what I mean? Like they found like a voice that they could like relate to that was speaking their language. Most of the time, that is what music is. The lyrics in the song is speaking what you feel.
100%.
So you're connecting with it. It has nothing to do music making people kill themselves. No, that's not how that works. It's a true mental health issue.
It got me psyched. Like if I was in a shitty mood, guaranteed in my car, I'd be cranking something really loud, singing, beating on my steering wheel, and just going crazy, man. It was a release for me growing up, and you know, I got into heavier music really, really early as a kid because I had some older cousins that brought me Black Sabbath. We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll, one of the greatest albums of all time, without a doubt.
Oh, and I bet that title right there threw it in the track, boy. Yeah.
And also Ozzy's Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman had just come out. So it was like there was so much cool music and so much, you know, and we'd go to these shows and nobody ever had a problem. There weren't fights, there weren't bullshit. You know, just a lot of scantily clad women and, you know, long-haired dudes in black t-shirts rocking out and having a good time.
Right. And here's the deal. Here's the deal with that. They were losing control of this ideology of what they wanted human beings to be at that time, to make these worker bees, to make these workers. And at that time they were promoting like the military a lot. I remember like be all you can be.
Oh yeah.
The few, the proud. They would do that all the time. Not that there's anything wrong with being a military person, because I think that's amazing. And if you stood up to be a military person and you went to do that, fucking amen to you, because that's awesome. But they were promoting a lot more of that because they wanted to get people away from a little bit more freedom, and they didn't like that exposure. And there was a lot of money to be made. And I'm sorry, they hurt a lot of people in the Vietnam War. They used a lot of people. They hurt them, and they didn't treat them with respect. I'm sorry, they didn't. No matter what you say, anybody says, they hurt those people. They put people there where they shouldn't be, and it was terrible. And these guys would be going through some serious shit, man. And I think it's I see Jeff is still in the back. He must be letting in the dog or something.
He was letting the dog in really quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yep. Sid Vicious. Yeah. And I think that what they were doing was they were just controlling that narrative, and it just really sucked because, you know, music was fun. I really liked music. I wanted to do music a lot more, but I was stopped at every fucking doorway I went through, you know, and they would get in and scare your parents, and they would say, oh, you know,
that's not a life for your child.
They're going to bring in these terrible ideologies of sex. More sex,
drugs, and rock and roll, man. Those was all
and sex, and
you're going to lose them. They're going to lose their soul.
And then they would get scared, and it's not my parents' fault or anybody's parents' fault, but that was the propaganda that was spewed out there.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think if our parents had us now, it would be different. You know, but I'm sorry if you didn't grow up in that era, man. You missed out. It was a good time and a bad time all at the same time.
The 80s were insane. Absolutely.
Fuck yeah, that whole decade was.
Because there was like a movement, like they call it the underground movement, but there was a movement of a challenge against the narrative.
Drugs.
And they didn't want that. They didn't want to have to face that challenge. And to date, the narrative still doesn't like anybody that challenges.
Me too, Julie. That's because you're a true rocker.
You know, any of that. Like, no, nobody likes that if they're trying to control you. So the moment they start to lose control, it's how can we control them again? And that's where that comes from.
Yeah, that's right. Every time that Julie visits, because she said she loves the 80s, she plays all the satanic rock for me. We just rock out on Hair Nation. We rock out on Hair Nation, God damn it. Come on, feel the note. You know, we have a good time. And I think that's what it's all about, dude. And that's all we wanted it to be, but they tried to take it from us. What I never could understand is,
and that's sad,
you couldn't smoke a joint, enjoy yourself, but you could go home and drink beer and beat the fucking shit out of your wife if you wanted to, bro.
That was totally fine.
You're going to drink some Pabst Blue Ribbon and you're going to smack her around, and then she's going to say, I'm sorry, it must be my fault. And you're going to kick the shit out of your kids, and then you're going to watch the ball game. Yep. And that's okay.
Devil's lettuce, though.
That's okay, but if you got part of the devil's lettuce, you were a fucking piece of shit, Jeff.
Oh my God, man! I remember how scared I was the first time I had weed in my pocket. It was probably like 19. I was about 12.
That's right.
1980.
Well, I mean, look at Grease too. The whole meaning of that whole movie is you don't want to be with those people because they're anti everything that society was at that time.
Yep.
And it's like he changes her at the end to be this, rebellious
Recent
girl
girl.
against the
Yeah.
odds of everything else.
Man.
But it's still
we turn good girls bad.
Yeah. And it was like people, if you look at that movie in one way, it's like, oh my gosh, he controlled her and he changed her and he made her change who she was. And it was like, no, if you flip it on the other side and you look at it with a more open mind, you're like, no, they were saying there's a narrative in place with everything right now. We aren't those guys. We're not the cookie cutters put us in a box. We have an edge. We're different. We don't fit in. And that's okay. We've created our own. And then it's like she realizes, wait, I don't really want to be in this life. I've always had that urge to be different. I want to be different too. I don't want to be like everybody else. And then she jumps over the fence to the other side and everybody's like, oh my God, he changed her. It had nothing to do with him. Yeah.
No, I think that if you're a really good light man, a lot of people want to do different things in the art, but they just can't find, some people just can't find the way out,
Yeah.
Like the guy that thought Pantera was stealing his songs
Matthew.
and he killed Dimebag, started killing more people. That wasn't the devil's fault. It was a Marine with mental issues. He killed Dimebag. And Dimebag and Zach Wild. Zach Wild's an amazing fucking
Zach
artist.
Wild's awesome, man.
He wrote a song called "In This River," and I recommend that you look up the video of "In This River" with Zach Wild. It's about him and Dimebag as kids. Fucking amazing. The way
they're icons, dude. Fucking
the way he wrote it, Jeff, and the way you see him drowning, and he's looking at his boy drowning, and he's like, in this river, and that's what it was. He couldn't do anything, and Dimebag there, he was fucking awesome, dude.
Right?
He was funny, bro. Him and the cockroach tattoo on his stuff. He was just awesome, dude. Roach class. He was great. And
without a doubt, I got to see Pantera, the entire original lineup of Pantera.
That's cool, Luke.
At I think it was the original. Yeah, New Year's Evil was like.
That's right, Matthew. 100%, bro.
And it was so great because it was like Sepultura, the original Black Sabbath lineup, Pantera, Slayer. I mean, it was unbelievable. I got to see some of the best and brightest.
The difference is we went against the common belief. It didn't matter if you were white, Jewish, black, gay, Hispanic, Native American, bro. When you were at the concert, you didn't give a fuck,
Yep.
And that's what I really loved about all of that. You could just have a really good time, man. And I love it how like Lance says his boys love 80s rock because there's something about it.
My kids too, man. Ruby loves 80s, like 70s and 80s punk. She loves like the Ramones and
look at her dad.
It's true though, yeah. X
and that's what I mean because we made it.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
For a Misfit shirt for her birthday, and I was like,
cool.
A little tear in my eye.
You're like, hold on, Daddy needs to sit down. Accomplished it.
Yep.
It's real. It's real.
That's the thing though, is I think everybody's born with a gift. And I think the people that are musicians that change the world, right? That they change the world through their music. Their gift was to do just that. Like there's so much hate and anger and everybody not liking everybody and all this bullshit that entertainment and music is the release from both. And each person has a gift to give in that respect. And music is that place, like Troy was just saying, when you're in that concert, nothing else matters. I don't give a shit about what you are.
You're right. And
what tomorrow is. We're in this music, we're enjoying it, and this music is either triggering a really good memory that you had when that music played. So in that moment, you're completely consumed in it. And it's like, that's just happiness. That's what we all need. We all have to remove ourselves from it sometimes. And music is that healthy release. And music has been proven to cure things in people and cure a healthy, like take a negative mind and put it into a healthy mindset, So it's like, no, we need it and fight against it. Don't listen to all these people. Do what you believe
I'm
in.
with it. I like to take
music.
the Challenger out and I play fucking Billie Jean, bro. Fuck them. I don't care what they say. Right, that's some good fucking shit. Exactly. But let me touch on what you just said. And Jeff knows because we've lived it. But I'll tell you what I think is awesome about it. We grew up in a society where they didn't want you to have, and even today, you're going to see it today where they say, oh my God, you should be positive and you should be this or you should be that. But you know what? Everybody grieves and everybody grows differently, right? So each song, every melody, everything you do. And if anybody knows, I like write songs. I love to write songs. And I wrote a couple songs. I think I've got a meeting with somebody and I think I'm going to put them to apparitions and I'm going to record them. And I just think that
And he can sing too, guys. You don't know it, but he does actually.
Yeah, whatever. But what I want to say is that you sometimes, like you said, you feel something, right? It could be the loss of a friend. It could be the loss of a relationship. It could be the beginning of a new relationship. It could be the beginning of an amazing friendship or an accomplishment in your life, you know?
Yep. 100%.
And you feel that. And once it gets into your body, that heals you. And better than any medicine in the world. Any medicine in the world, there's nothing you can't fix. Music can take you to totally different levels. You can astral project, you can transcend, you can close your eyes and meditate. You can be there. Sometimes, man, I'll just be outside in the golden hour. And the golden hour is where the sun hits a certain time. And as a kid, I was infatuated with the golden hour. Cars looked cool. The sky was blue. The trees were really green. And sometimes an old song will come on, like Hysteria. And I'll remember exactly where I was, Jeff, when Hysteria hit the fucking radio. And I'm like, dude. And you're just playing Hysteria. I mean, Def Leppard was the fucking, their music was great. They're still touring and people still love them. New people. I mean, and so, but because they wrote their letters in the big crazy D's and shit, they were Satanists. They never wrote anything about that. Ever.
It's too with their little, with their logos and
with the lightning bolt S's. My friend Sean gave me after his father passed away, he gave me one of the Kiss albums, and it's a special edition. And the album is made, and Kiss has the 2 lightning bolts for the S's on this particular album from the 70s. It's fucking amazing. I have it up on my wall over here. I should take a picture of it and post it on my Instagram. But that was really cool that he gave me that. And then I have the Patient Number 9 comic book from him with Ozzy Osbourne in it.
Nice,
so
nice.
I'm a collector of that stuff. I hope that when I kick the bucket, somebody will appreciate my collection of memorabilia and what I choose to live by. And I live it, man, every day.
Mm-hmm.
I've been no different than I was a kid. I was a fucking ratty motherfucker. I like metal shirts and long hair and punk shit. I didn't care, and I'm still that way.
I wear my concert shirts so long they turn brown after a while from overwashing.
What's up? And Matthew, you're so right. Singing has been a proven way to help against cancer, produces healing. It does. But they don't want that, man. That's not what they want. What they want from you is get on the medicine, man. Let me tell, like I read an article today that there was a doctor, I guess she's put on trial now. She was diagnosing patients with cancer just so she could sell chemo.
Oh,
and
for
she
the
pocketed a lot of money. Yeah.
That's like that. That's like that other doctor that was like feeding his cancer patients sugar water and just feeding the cancer so that they kept staying sick and not getting any better so he could keep it. Yeah, that's just ridiculous to me.
There's no money in a cure.
You're right, Jeff.
Absolutely ridiculous.
And so it's a thing that, and if you could go back 8,000 years and you look at the monks, they would use sound to heal themselves. And these motherfuckers, like the rainbow bodies, the rainbow bodies, when they go into deep meditation before death and their body stays preserved, but we don't know about it. We live in a small world. We get up in the morning, we fucking take a piss and we yell at the dog. We go to the grocery store, we pick up what we need, or you trip over a cat in Julie's case and you fucking just do your life. But there's so much out there. There's so many things.
There's even
that
like
window
sound
opens,
healers.
Listen, once that window opens, man, you just don't ever see things the same way again. Some of us just got to do it a lot earlier, man. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Be you. It's about a mindset. Sing a sad song, turn it around when you need to heal. Music, Alice Cooper. My love of music. Yeah, that's right, Matthew.
We really didn't even appreciate it as much as we should have back then, that some of us were allowed to be free thinkers and do what we wanted to do. And, we're allowed to be ourselves. I was always myself my whole life.
Me too.
If you don't like it, I'm not for everybody. I got a big.
Believe me, a lot of people didn't like it. I can tell you for me.
That's their loss, man. I got a lot to offer. I'm fun.
I got to give it to you. My parents were cool about being pretty supportive on me looking like a ragamuffin, dude. And it's okay because a lot of the reason I was a ragamuffin is because honestly, I really don't like people that much. You know what I mean? And so the grodier I looked, the more tattered, the more earrings I had, people didn't talk to me. So it was cool. But in essence, I learned Reiki massage and horse in 90 South Carolina. Badass. Reiki's a really big thing too. That's what I'm saying. So there's so much that we didn't know about. And so just being ourselves, I've lived this way my whole life. I mean, really, I know I'm 50 years old, but I'm 15.
Yeah.
Oh, I still feel like a 15-year-old me.
Jeff,
man.
I just was out on an electric skateboard the other day skating, and the kids in the neighborhood were racing me on their scooters. Oh, fucking yeah, dude. We're fixing the kids' four-wheelers next door. We're all ripping up the neighborhood. I'm like, listen, let me give you some advice. Don't ride that motherfucker in here, crazy. Go to somebody else's neighborhood and fuck it up. And then when you get chased by the cops, you go to a house of somebody you don't like. You let the cops get close, and then you take off again. Then they think it's your house. That's what you do. Fuck them, right? You got to live like that. So they're like, right on, dude. Thanks, dude. So, because nobody told me that. They were always like, nope, don't you dare do that. We're not buying that for you.
Don't live life.
Yeah.
So
today is promised, tomorrow is not.
Are you sure you're not going on 16? 18's pushing it. But yeah, I totally got. I love that statement. I'm the same, man. I feel you. And
I wanted
live
to
the
say,
way you want to live. Don't get caught up in the fucking monotonous way of life where you feel trapped. I mean, look how immature Brittany's office is. I mean,
it really is.
For someone who's almost 40 years old, look at your office, dude. I mean, look at this. I sit in a bone chair with a pentagram behind me, and I only do that because it agitates. People get agitated, although I do like my staff here. It's pretty fucking awesome.
Look, it is what I mean. And behind my desk, I have Elvis, so it's like
nice. Again, I
heard
100%.
I wanted to touch on what Troy had said
100%.
earlier, and it was something that I wanted to share because it was like, I used to listen to music, and it follows what Troy had mentioned earlier about like what a song can mean or what something means to making either a new friend or a passing of a friend or just something like that. That's
or you're relating to relatable.
Yeah. And I used to perform in theater, and I used to have to perform songs, and I used to sing songs, but I never understood why my singing coach said to me, I don't feel like you believe what you're saying in your song. And to me, I'm like, I just have to memorize a song and I have to perform it every night. Right. But one day she goes, I want you to meet me early. We're going to go on stage. We're going to sing this song together. I was like, okay. I had just lost a friend, a really good friend. And it really, really sucked. And I hadn't really quite gotten over it yet. And we were on stage and she stopped me and she said, okay, let's look at the words. But now I want you to think about something that's hurting you. Go somewhere dark in your head that's hurting you right now. And I immediately went to my friend who I didn't get a chance to call before they left this planet. And I regret it every day. And sure as shit, I'm sitting on the stage and I'm like, okay, so I go into that headspace and I get there. And then she's like, now start saying the words. I couldn't get past the first 4 words. And I broke down on the stage with her. And she goes, now you feel it. Now you get it. And I never sang the same ever, ever. I can't even listen to songs anymore on the radio that I would listen to when I was like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Like, yeah, whatever. Right. Because she changed something in me to truly understand what music really is. And that night when I performed that song, I healed. I could feel it. It was like me telling like my friend, I love you. I miss you. Goodbye. It was the coolest experience in my life. And I was like, that moment switched me. And that moment was like, music is my healing. And I need it every time I'm not right. It changed me. It changes you. You have a moment like that, pick a song that really reaches you already, and then go there with that. And immediately you're done. So it's a healing. It's music is healing. I don't care what anybody says.
You're totally true. And no matter who you are,
doing it.
Doesn't matter what you believe in, your faith, your politics, your sexual gender, whatever the hell you want to be. It doesn't matter because if you all have the same interest in the same music, you all come together. And that's what it's about, man. It's the alignment of the spirits. And I remember 100%. When I was a kid, this is verifiable, and we didn't have hairspray. It would have been better. I had to use water, and it didn't last that long. But I would get in trouble. But I really, in the 80s, the Culture Club was big. I thought Boy George fucking rocked. Okay.
Boy George had a style, man.
Boy George was the shit. And he grew up in a strict old Catholic house and he still became very famous. But listen, when I was a kid, I would go to school, in grade school, and then I would like bring my shit, and then I would dress up and I'd draw eyebrows on my face and make myself up, and I'd make my hair wet, try to tease it. I'd go into class and they'd call my mom, dude. Like, he's wearing shit again. It's just because if it was something that they hated, I wanted to be it. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. Because I just feel like you guys are just doing shit to people that wasn't right. Senior year of HS, died 1 month before grad, and Beyonce was the first song I heard after my teacher said, sing it and cry. We did together. Same Brit. There's good. It's awesome. Healing. Yeah, Prince was an amazing person, and he was so talented, dude. The man wore chaps and a fucking thong and high heels and did spring steps off the stage and splits and sang so Purple Rain. I mean, you can't be no badass than that, dude. And he was like 3 feet tall. Fucking A.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, that was just amazing. Yeah, Matthew, that's great. And that's what I mean. So guys, to me, we can
That's
end
the
with
true
people always
last
want to shut
goodbye.
down music, but tell me, there isn't any better time that you have than when you're with your people and you're jamming out the good music and you just feel it, man. And you just feel it.
That's right.
Yep.
You know, I don't know of a better time, man.
Look at my son. He
There's
plays
those
like every
songs-
instrument, loves music. It fuels within his soul, and I encourage it every day.
That's the best thing ever. There's those songs that you listen to, and it hits so close to home, it almost brings a tear to your eye. You know, it's like,
yeah, because you can relate.
Exactly about me. You know,
I'm not alone. That's what it says. I'm not alone. Other people are doing it too. And
this is how
the human need to not be alone, Jeff.
Absolutely. Being an outcast by yourself is not as fun as being an outcast with some other outcasts.
Fucking A. You need that on a t-shirt.
Damn Skippy, man. And I love that shit. And I didn't mind the looks that I got and the bullshit because that just fueled my teen angst.
Exactly. We were all anarchists. We don't want anything to do with anything. And it must have been hard raising us, but that society was tough, and I'm glad that it's gone. You see it sometimes now, but they're not powerful enough to change anything anymore. You know, it's not ran by evangelists and fucking wackos like
they're trying.
The bakers and all
everything
that.
they got. You know,
I know they want to blame this Satanism for all this stuff. It's not Satanism. It's just sick people doing dumb shit. It has nothing to do with any of that. Right. And the meanings of what I have tattoos of, or what my clothing is, or my pentagrams. I've got a couple pentagrams tattooed on me. But that doesn't have nothing to do with going and killing babies and worshiping the devil. That makes me so sick. And then nowadays with all the celebrities or this or that, no, they're not. They're just rich bastards that can get away with a lot of shit until they can't anymore. Man, I grew up north of Nashville, 70s. I grew up just north of Nashville, 70s, 80s, when I sewed my school letter on my denim jacket with my Black Sabbath patch. The teachers freaked. I bet they.
That's awesome.
Bro.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was told I had a jacket that my friend airbrushed the Led Zeppelin thing on the back of, and they wouldn't let me wear it to school. Denim jacket with my patches and a big freaking, swan song guy and Stairway to Heaven thing and a blimp. It was badass, man. I wish I still had that jacket.
I really, to be honest with you, Jeff, I don't know why we thought it was so cool. Like, I remember my mom's like, "You're not wearing a Metallica shirt with a skull on it. If I see a skull on it, we're throwing it away." I remember this. So I'm like, all right, I'll buy the Injustice for All. And then I'd go buy the ones I wanted. And then we'd get to the mall. We'd go in the bathroom and put our other shit on. We just walk around with our hair in our face. Fucking people would go, "Oh my God." You're like, "Fuck you. Eat it and die, bitch." That was just our mentality, dude. And I don't see anything wrong with it. And, people should have molded us a little better. Like, let us be ourselves. Stop trying to put us into what they want, what they thought we should be. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's great, Craig. Craig always brings us to the end of the show with an amazing statement.
Yeah, the 80s were a blur. Absolute blur, but a great blur.
I wasn't even on anything, and I remember it being a blur as well. I remember just the excitement of waiting for the video to come on MTV. I remember when Guns N' Roses released Appetite for Destruction in 1987, and we were all waiting. We were in Colorado at the time, and we were waiting for KBPI Rocks the Rockies. Tonight we're going to be releasing a new album by the new Guns N' Roses.
Oh, man.
And the first song they hit
even know that
was Welcome to the Jungle. And you were like, what the hell is happening? You wanted to pick up everything you could find and smash windows and kill cats, bro. Like, it just turned you into like, what? So at the end of the day, I miss all that. But I will tell you this. There's a group out there called Falling in Reverse. Fucking amazing, guys. Absolutely badass. That guy gets it. I think he's a time traveler.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool bands. 70s metal sound now, like The Sword, stuff like that. Really good shit.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Jeff, an overlooked band. I'll say it again on here for everybody. And you too, Seth, because I know you're a rocker. Listen to this. You want to go and you want to find an album. There's 2 albums. There's like 5 albums, but the 2 albums, it's Dirty Looks. It's the white one with the purple eyes on it. Dirty Looks. That's her first album. And the second one's got this apple with snake bangs, right? And so the white album has It's Not the Way You Rock, It's the Way You Roll. Great fucking song. And then when Blue Tequila came out, I thought it was AC/DC. That's how good they are.
Oh, wow.
Right? And they were overlooked, and they were in the same era. So Julie said, save the cats. What? Don't play Guns N' Roses around me, Julie. Matthew, I'm always blessed to have my mom support me being a band nerd, and now I play 11, 12 instruments. My favorite music to play is the sonatas. Excel Sonata and G minor. Know that used to. I love to play on bass clarinet. See, man, good for you, dude. That's good. See, somebody supported him. He stuck with it.
That's right.
But my music was devil worship. I don't know if you could do that on the clarinet, but if you can't, I'd love to hear it.
Just put little horns on it.
From naked soccer with Sabotage to being mistaken for Nelson and a booby bar, the 80s were really a blast.
Sabotage was badass, dude. I love all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
Dude. Sabotage.
Those bands, Sabotage, Witchfinder General, freaking
Sabotage.
Pile Driver. I mean, that shit was all so good, man. Slayer.
Yeah, he just put Slayer up there.
Kerry King's a
I got
god
it on,
of
Seth. I'm wearing
Yeah.
Slayer. I'm representing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kerry King from Slayer is a big carpet python breeder.
Oh, yeah.
That's
He
great.
did some of the top carpets in the world.
Doesn't
Beautiful
he do
animal.
blood? Doesn't he do bloods too? I thought.
He might. I could see that.
Oh, that was. Oh, I'm gonna circle it back here. While you guys talk about that for a second, that was the other.
There was a
discovery.
band. I can't think of the band, the lead singer now, and he Slayer. Let's get these guys up there. Matthew put in
Mhm.
totally can we played everything. That's awesome. Yes, sir. And then he put. Let's see. Sage Pup put in. Our band was called Freakosaurus Rex for the past 18 years, but our lead singer passed this year, so now we're a surf punk band. Well, I'm sorry to hear about your lead singer, man, but that's awesome, bro.
I grew up on a lot of surf and skate punk. I love that shit.
Yeah, MOD,
freaking Method of Destruction, man. Good shit.
Yeah, dude. Oh, they were brutal. Some of the stuff
Yeah.
they sang about was pretty fucking.
Yeah, I haven't listened to Agent Orange in a dog's age. Stuff is so
Well, see,
good.
folks, we've left you with some really cool shit, and I think that music is always a great topic because everybody can relate. We can all pitch in and join in, and I get a lot of reactions when we talk about music and cool stuff like that.
Flotsam and Jetsam. I remember Flotsam and Jetsam.
I'm gonna circle it back to the very beginning, Troy, at the very end for you, because there was
Chemical Romance.
A new discovery I forgot to tell you. Oh, I liked Chemical Romance, actually. I had some of their stuff.
Cannibal Corpse, sure.
There we go.
Chemical Romance.
Except
And they just name those bands like that, Seth, to piss everybody off, dude.
Yep.
It's
and
branding.
You know who else was underrated?
Great branding.
I mean, listen, Great White.
Yeah.
One of their best ballad songs was Save All Your Love for Me. What the fuck? That song slams, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Great
There's some
song.
good ballads in the 80s. I ain't gonna lie.
Once Bitten, Twice Shy was a fun song. If you're at a party and that started playing, you're like, yeah, that's like Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Yeah.
Which, you know what made that song popular? Strip clubs.
Love the Ramones.
Oh, I can believe that. It probably like went off the scale.
Yeah, they did.
So-
Look, people are
so
just
many
chiming in.
names.
I love this, man.
Yeah, this is like it's bringing back a lot of memories, man. I don't know if you remember.
I love it.
It all, Troy.
Core
Basketball.
memories unlocked.
Great shit.
Yeah, because it was the best times of our life. We were fighting our superiors.
Yep. And our
We
peers.
lived in the
Yeah.
motto, fuck a job. I love it, dude, so much, so much. But Brittany, tell us the discovery real quick so we'll end the show on your discovery.
Okay, so we're going to circle it back. This was actually last year through a scientific report in February of 2023. So during the filming of Pole to Pole, starring Will Smith, I believe it's actually on Disney Plus and Hulu. I believe
Was
you
that
can
a
actually
porn,
see.
or-
It was not a porn. Oh my God.
Thank
Anyway,
you, Jeff. We need
they
that
were
humor.
they were they were
Oh,
filming in the
oh.
Ecuadorian Amazon when they discovered a brand new species of anaconda. The one they discovered while they were filming measured up to 20 foot 7 inches
That's pretty
long.
badass.
Mm-hmm.
When
in
did
the
they discover this?
This was during the time of filming. They actually spotted it and they discovered it would have been last year. So February 2024. Hold on.
Wonderful.
Yeah, 2024. A brand new species. A team of scientists basically went to observe the anacondas rumored after the filming of Pole to Pole with Will Smith. And they did discover, the professor from Queensland, University of Queensland, did discover a brand new species of anaconda. The one that they measured was a female, and she was 20 foot 7 inches.
Of course she was a female. That's the biggest in the anacondas. Mine's 18 feet.
However, they found, the team also said they found another one that was 7.5 meters, 24.6 feet long, and it weighed about 1,100 pounds.
Yeah, that sounds a little cryptid.
They,
to me,
no,
Brittany.
this one,
Anaconda.
no, they said this one had been sighted in the area, so they can't confirm that one. They're still looking for this one.
It's
'cause
probably
they said,
10 feet.
They said no. I mean, the female was 20 foot or 20 foot.
I believe that.
27.
That's possible.
And they said the other one they'd seen was 24.6 feet.
That's got to be.
But they haven't found the 24 yet, but they did confirm, found, measured, and identified the 20-foot one. That's a new species of anaconda in the Ecuadorian Amazon forest.
Nice, fine. I love this.
All while filming a TV show.
That's great. Now here we go. We're going to end the show. I'm going to put the last lineup of stuff that came up. Sage Pup, you guys are all right. I'm glad to found y'all. Thank you, Sage. We appreciate you being here. If you want to go back, and I have opened up the about a year or two ago, I just opened up the YouTube channel, the Motley Croc Show, so you can check out past shows. Or you should labeled. You can see a bunch of cool shit. We had Ricky Rocket on a couple weeks ago. If you want to find that from Poison, the drummer, great interview with him. You can also check us out on Discovery Channel. And HBO Max, Discovery Plus and Max. We are the host of the Lost Monster Files on Discovery. So if you guys, anybody watching doesn't know that, please check it out. You can see us on Travel Channel. They're showing us there too. But if you want to stream us, we're on Max and Discovery Plus. It's a lot of fun. We have a great time. We go out there and look for crazy shit. Brittany hunts down some wild stuff, and we just try to tell her no. But we have a really good time with that. So we're glad you came in too, Sage Pup. Yep. OT was a strip movie. Seth, he said, wow, another great episode. Thank you, Exploring. We appreciate you hanging in there with your stuff. Michelle, we really appreciate the following and staying with us all these years. We really appreciate you. On that note, guys, we want to say goodnight to everybody that's come out, everybody that's in the comments. We appreciate you following us and talking with us. We really love it. This isn't a show about growing and making it popular. This is about therapy, and we love it.
About keeping it simple, stupid.
That's right, man. KISS. And on that note, we will see you next week. Thank you for everything, guys. Have a great week until then. We love you and good night.